The Steve Jobs of superheroes. He was a little Thomas Edison, even a little Vince Lombardi. If you were a kid, adult, whatever, whoever the superhero was on your lunchbox or your bed sheets or your Trapper Keeper, Stan Lee probably thought of that superhero. We're talking Spider-Man, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Black Panther, Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, the X-Men, Thor. He thought of them. He drew them. It's an incredible thing he came up with, and he's had such an impact on so many people. Here's the Daily News with his catchphrase, Excelsior, at the bottom. And if you flip it, it's perfect. The Giants win. The Avenger, which is also on him. So he's got both sides of it. Stan Lee, in the comic books in the 1950s, were dominated by DC. It was Superman, and it was Wonder Woman, and Batman. And he came in and said, I want to do something different. I want them to be more dynamic, more flesh and blood, more relatable. And he created all these characters who were much more down to earth. And it had such an impact on so many, especially NFL players. How many players have we seen who channel their whole identity after superheroes? Those people came from Stan Lee. And when he passed, there's Le'Veon, who's got a lot going on, who took some time to say R.I.P. Stan Lee, a real legend. And some of these were really effusive. They meant a lot to a lot of people. Russell Okung sat next to Stan on a flight one time. Such a great man with incredible presence. I was surprisingly too nervous to introduce myself at first, but glad I did. Definitely a pioneer and one of the world's most creative minds. These are guys in the heart of their career. Next, what else do we have? We also had Brian Dawkins. Now, Dawkins is the standard. Dawkins is a Hall of Famer, probably in part because of Stan Lee. He got Dawkins talks. Mr. Stan, I never the honor and pleasure of meeting you, yet I've known you my entire life. Thank you for blessing me and all the other sci-fi geeks with your beautiful mind, showing us what else there is out there for us to tap into and escape to. Dawkins was Wolverine. He was Weapon X. This is the guy who ended in Canton, Ohio, because he would channel the creative mind of Stan Lee on the field and flip the switch. It's not just Dawkins either. There's some great ones. Some guys Hall of Famers, some guys you barely remember. Peyton Hillis had a run with Cleveland, and Cleveland fans named him the Juggernaut, who could run through any substance. There it is right there. There were Juggernaut T-shirts. There was internet threads, everything about Peyton Hillis, a Stan Lee character. Right here on this show, we had Vance McDonald, right? I called him Vanos, another Avengers thing. But if you look in the background of the Angry Runs trophy, he has a Thor hammer right there that his wife had commissioned for him from an actual steel worker to make a Stan Lee creation. And lastly, another fantastic player. You might not even remember this. Andre Rison, we talk about all the time. Do you know Andre Rison became Spider-Man at the end of his... He's web slinging right there. He decided at the end of his career, I'm going to start slinging webs. All came from Stan Lee, who has impacted not only this world, but this game so much. And I will end with a quote that I find very relatable, and I think maybe the four of us might too, given what we do every day. Stan Lee said, I used to be embarrassed because I was just a comic book writer while other people were building bridges or going on to medical careers. Then I began to realize that entertainment is one of the most important things in people's lives. Without it, they might go off the deep end. I feel that if you're able to entertain people, you're doing a good thing. Stan Lee, incredible life, entertained the world, made the NFL part of what it is today with just drawing a few cartoon characters. Really incredible life. Stan Lee.
Very cool, Kyle. Rest in peace.
Stan Lee, rest in peace.
Well done.